Did the Speaker of the House end up as number 2 in the presidential line of succession because of his friendship with the president? You'll find out as we explore 5 events that happened today in history. In 1947, U.S. President Harry Truman signs the Presidential Succession Act, which establishes the Speaker of the House as the president's successor after the vice president. When it became the law of the land back in 1788, the Constitution established only that the vice president is first in line to succeed the president. During George Washington's first term in 1792, he signed the first Presidential Succession Act, which designated the President pro tem of the Senate as second in line and the Speaker of the House as third in line. In 1886, Congress and President Grover Cleveland removed both the President pro tem and the Speaker from the line of succession and placed the Secretary of State as second in line. When Harry Truman ascends to the presidency after FDR's death in 1945, there is a push to reconfigure presidential succession. Keep in mind that Truman serves his entire first term with no vice president, since the Constitution provides no mechanism to fill a vacancy in the vice presidency. That, by the way, is not remedied until the 25th Amendment 20 years later. The 1947 Presidential Succession Act moves the Secretary of State down to fourth in line and places the House Speaker second and the President pro tem third. This flip-flops those two from their spots in the original 1792 Act. It is not exactly clear why the Speaker jumps ahead of the President pro tem, but many believe it is because Truman is a close friend of Speaker Sam Rayburn and does not get along so well with President pro tem Kenneth McKellar. The 1947 Act places the members of the cabinet in line after the President pro tem in the order each position was created. Thus, Secretary of State, then Secretary of the Treasury, then Secretary of Defense, and so on. This means that there are now 18 people in the line of presidential succession. In AD 64, the Great Fire of Rome breaks out, destroying much of the city and killing hundreds of people as it rages for several days. The Emperor Nero is rumored to have intentionally caused the fire, although there is no direct evidence that he did so. It is definitely not true, despite popular belief, that Nero plays the fiddle as Rome burns. The fiddle does not even exist 2,000 years ago. Nero is, however, a music lover and does play the lyre, although probably not while the city burns, especially since he isn't even in Rome when the fire breaks out. In 1792, Scottish-born naval commander John Paul Jones, a hero of the American Revolution, dies in Paris, France, at age 45. He is initially buried in Paris, but his remains are exhumed in 1905, transported to the U.S., and entombed at the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, in a ceremony presided over by U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt in 1906. The current bronze and marble sarcophagus dates to 1913. It is designed by French sculptor Sylvain Sallier and conjures images of the sea. It is a fitting tribute to the great naval commander. In 1969, on Chappaquiddick Island in Massachusetts, 37-year-old U.S. Senator Ted Kennedy, brother of former President John F. Kennedy, drives a car off a wooden bridge into a pond after leaving a party around 11 p.m. He escapes from the submerged vehicle, but his passenger, 28-year-old Mary Jo Kopechne, drowns. Kennedy does not report the accident for 10 hours. He pleads guilty to leaving the scene of an accident and receives a 2-month suspended sentence. His driver's license is also suspended for 16 months. No other charges are ever filed. The Chappaquiddick incident almost certainly influences Kennedy's decision not to run for president in 1972 and again in 1976. He does run in the 1980 primary, but is defeated by incumbent President Jimmy Carter. In 1976, during the Summer Olympics in Montreal, Canada, 14-year-old Romanian Nadia Comaneci becomes the first athlete awarded a perfect score in an Olympic gymnastics event, scoring a 10 on the uneven bars. She goes on to receive 6 more perfect 10s at the 1976 Games, winning 3 gold medals. ABC's Wide World of Sports airs a montage of Komenech's Olympic routines set to the instrumental piece Cotton's Dream. The song was originally composed for the 1971 film Bless the Beasts and the Children. It then became the theme song of the TV soap opera The Young and the Restless when the show premiered in 1973. After the well-received Komenech montage on Wide World of Sports, the song is renamed Nadia's Theme. Which of these events did you find most interesting? Let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget to check out Today in History in my Teachers Pay Teachers store. There's a link in the description. I would also love it if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. And you can see more great Mr. Lewis videos right over here. Thanks for watching.